So the first question I have to ask, your favorite movie trilogy?
Okay, well, this is gonna come out of left field because I'm guessing. I mean, everybody would think that it's only like comic book movies and like things that produce or whatever. But actually, one of my favorite movie trilogies has to be The Hangover.
Mm. Yeah, nice. Understand, but why?
I don't know. It's like it was when that movie came out. Technically, we were kind of in that lifestyle. Like I guess it's a movie that everybody could relate to who actually like goes out, who hangs out with the boys and stuff like that. I mean, like anything could happen on a particular night that you go out, if you know what I mean. Nights could turn from, just a casual drink to, the ultimate Project X party, if you know what I mean. So,
Yeah.
like, I always remember, dude, Yui.
Yeah, we definitely had nights like that before.
Dude, let's go down memory lane with Yui a little bit, if you know what I mean.
I don't think I want to go down to that memory lane right now. But hey, it was fun. I can tell you, it was fun.
Okay. But dude, like, I mean, you kind of have to love this movie because reason being, you have your lovable characters. You have like Phil, you have Stu, you have Alan, who is the comic relief of the movie, if you want, you know what I mean. And well, I mean, you have other characters like Doug, like Doug, Black Doug. Then you have Mr. Chow and stuff like that. I know, and the thing is that this movie was really edgy at that point in time. Don't get me wrong, if a movie like that comes out now, it might get canceled. But dude, for the time, it was actually a good trilogy. 1 and 2 was really good. 3 was a little, but yeah. Dude, one of my favorite movie trilogies of all time.
Yeah. Mine too. It was great. Every chance I get, I sit down and watch it, and always laughing. But your one was more down to earth, more on the realistic plane. Mine is not. My favorite movie trilogy will always be Lord of the Rings. Now I telling you, we wouldn't be walking down the street and a gigantic orc attack us from the corner. I don't think that's going to happen. But folks, favorite
it was actually,
movie trilogy.
It's funny. It was actually one of my favorite movies that, like, again, our whole group went and saw, if you know what I mean. That was actually pretty cool, especially the first one. You remember how you felt at the ending?
Yeah. It didn't seem like 3 hours.
Exactly. Not only that, you wanted more.
Well, right.
You just wanted more. It's like,
that was it. It didn't seem like 3 hours, and I remember sitting down, and you're hearing people in the background when Frodo and they crossed the river, and they were in the Ered Muil, the mountain range.
Oh yeah.
And it had people in the background saying, that was it. And I was like, these people really sit down 3 hours a movie and still saying that was it. Me, I was impressed because I really didn't expect that reaction. But people, although it was a fantasy movie, people enjoyed it. And they didn't know anything about it from before. They only had the books and the cartoons, but you had to be a fan to know about that.
I'll be honest with you. A lot of people don't read books.
Yeah.
That's the thing about it.
That is the thing. That should.
True.
You're right. That should show you how good the movie was. A lot of people don't read books. Even back then, they didn't used to read much books.
Exactly. I'll be honest with you. I was one of them that I knew nothing of it. And when I saw it, it was like, boom. And then it was like, this came from a book. I was like, what? So that was good. Don't get me wrong. Like, all 3 movies was good. I hate to say it, The Hobbit spin-off wasn't that really good.
Me? The Hobbit was good, but it just wasn't on the same level as Lord of the Rings. Now, if they made The Hobbit before and they made the Lord of the Rings after, it would have been a different story. Because it's like you see the pinnacle, and then you see this other version afterwards.
Well, for me, it's like I want to compare it towards like Star Wars. you got the three first movies were really really good, and then anything after that was just shit.
Yep.
All right, that's
Yeah.
basically Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
For me.
it was the pinnacle. It was the pinnacle of that whole story, that whole franchise. And then it's afterwards they say, you know what, let me do the Hobbit. And then they stretch the Hobbit out because the Hobbit is only one book. And they stretch it out to 3 movies. But it had a lot of deleted scenes in the Hobbit movie that was pretty good. But you see the fan reaction of Lord of the Rings. I remember losing my voice watching the second movie in the cinema.
Exactly.
Especially when Legolas,
the second movie,
the fight in Helm's Deep. That whole fight, Legolas sliding down the stairs, Gandalf appearing, you know, it had so many cool scenes in that movie. Yeah, when I came out of the cinema, my voice gone.
Yeah, the second movie was actually, if not the best. Just like, I'll be honest with you, just like what do you call it? Star Wars, the Sith, Revenge of the Sith was actually the best movie.
I wouldn't say the Two Towers was the best movie. The last movie in Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, that was it. It just had more.
In my opinion, I'll be honest with you, I love the Two Towers. The Two Towers was excellent. After that would be definitely Return of the King. I have the box set, dude. I watch it, you know, I won't say religiously, but dude, I always say the Two Towers, amazing. It was spectacular. You know what scene I love in the Two Towers? You know when King Don was like under the spell?
Yeah.
Basically. And Aragorn came in and he, you know, did this thing or whatever, and basically after that it's like that guy who was apparently helping what's the name again?
All right, so so it's the scene where Theoden was bewitched.
Yes.
Right, and they came in Edoras and Gandalf the White free him from the spell of Saruman. That scene was pretty good. But for me, you see Return of the King just had it.
Yeah, no, but Return of the King had like really
scenes,
good one-liners.
Fighting. I wouldn't really say it's a one-liner. You will get one-liners in 90s movies. But I'm talking about action scenes.
Yeah, but
and just the crescendo. Just build the thing about Return of the King that really disappoint people is the whole. I thought they would have done more when the ring got destroyed. I was expecting to see more, but they went along the same lines as the book. So when I saw that, I was like,
I'll be honest with you, I have no complaints about like the way how it ended, if you know what I mean. I have no complaints at all. That was actually a pretty good movie. It's a classic. I'll be honest with you, they didn't even need to do The Hobbit, if you know what I mean. But again, you know, franchises and money has to be made. They did The Hobbit, and for instance,
The Hobbit wasn't bad. It's just I didn't see the sense of them. They didn't really have to put in Legolas. They could have just left the book like that and not make it into 3 movies. If you wanted to make it into 2, yeah. But the book was good enough. And me reading the books, I thought that the Hobbit book was a much more fun read than the Lord of the Rings books.
Well, what's funny was you remember you ever played the Game Boy Advance?
Yeah, I played it.
The Hobbit. It was actually pretty good. It was actually a good game.
Yeah, it was a good game, but back to the books. The Hobbit was more of a fun book to me. The writing was much lighter. You know, it had stakes, but the stakes wasn't as dire as the Lord of the Rings books. You know, things was really top. It was tense in Lord of the Rings. You know, you're on this mission, and you have to you have to complete it to get it done, or else the whole of Middle Earth will be under Sauron, the captivity of Sauron and stuff. But the Hobbit, it had its stakes, but it just wasn't as high. It built up to. Let me just say that if certain things didn't transpire in the Hobbit, the Lord of the Rings would not happen, or circumstances would have been different in Lord of the Rings. Sauron probably would have won in Lord of the Rings if Bilbo didn't complete his mission in Erebor. But for me, bro, Lord of the Rings, the best trilogy ever. Although it has some honorable mentions, like Back to the Future. I love watching Back to the Future. It's a fun movie.
Mm-hmm. But how many movies does Back to the Future have again? There's Back to the Future.
Three
movies.
trilogy.
Oh,
yeah.
All
right. Another trilogy I like to watch too whenever they're showing it is The Matrix. Honorable mentions.
Dude, okay, since we're talking about The Matrix, have you seen the new trailer?
Yeah, I saw the new trailer.
Okay, what do you think about it?
Right now, I don't know what to make of it. It has a comic book that is set before this movie. So I'm hoping to read that comic book before I see the movie, just to see what happens.
I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. I'm not. I mean, I'm not like to say excited about the movie at all. To be honest with you.
No, that's a good watch at home.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't spend money
to go and see that. I would not spend money to go and see that. That's a watch at home.
Yeah, same. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't mean to be rude, but straight to DVD sounds good to me.
Yeah. I don't see, and I've spoken to friends about this. Hollywood is creatively bankrupt. They have no ideas. They just if they don't reboot, is a continuation to already finished story.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like every year it's like the same rinse and repeat. Okay, we like a franchise. Okay, let's reboot it. If not, we'll give it a sequel, but the sequel, it won't be good as the first one, and so forth and so forth. And then it's like it's a money stretch. A perfect example of that, Fast and Furious. We have 9 now, going on 10.
Yeah, Fast and Furious. I always say Fast and Furious started off as innocent street racing. If street racing is innocent, if you're doing it illegally, innocent street racing to espionage and saving the world.
I'll be honest with you. The reason why people loved Fast and Furious in the beginning, because it was bringing light to a culture, underground culture that was misunderstood. Everybody knew it as a crime, basically, street racing, right? Now, don't get me wrong, it was like, the whole idea of, you take your mom's Civic, you modify it, spend some parts on it, because your mom doesn't really drive it too much or whatever, and so forth like that. I mean, and again, it's fun. It's a culture. Putting in a decent sound system. Putting on some nice wheels and stuff like that. Yeah,
but you could only go so far with that.
Well, like I said, it's a culture. Yeah,
the three movies was good enough, and after that, they had to have a change.
Well, yeah, but the thing is that they went basically the ocean route, if you know what I mean, like Ocean's 11 and whatnot, which to me they didn't need to. But I guess they wanted to add some depth to the character, because don't get me wrong, it's like, always say this: how the fuck did Vin Diesel become so damn fucking good? We took a street racer, all of a sudden we just added on shit. You took Tez
because they had to. They had to. It have nowhere to go after part 3, because that is as far as the culture goes. Street race, you drift. What else you're going to do? So
and the funny thing was that
espionage, saving the world will be the next step. just now, I think in this one here, 9, they went to space.
They went to space.
Rocket ship on the car.
And that was a meme. That was a fucking meme, and they actually did it.
They have nowhere to go. I don't know. I went to see, and now they're gonna have 1,000,001 spin-offs because
they're gonna have a multiverse.
It's a $1 billion franchise. What are you gonna do?
It's gonna have a multiverse. They're gonna be the next Marvel.
Make that money. All right. So that was the first question or second question. All right.
That was the first one.
Yeah, we getting nerdy. Second question. Cartoon waifu, and you had the name 3.
Damn. Okay. You know what's weird? I probably have bad taste, but okay. It's gonna be.
Well, if it's bad, if you have bad taste, it's your taste. So
yeah,
might as well spill it.
Okay. I like actually. Okay, you know what's the chick's name from Bleach? I could never remember her name.
No, that is it. Cartoon, not anime.
Oh, sorry. Oh, anime.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the You remember Groove Troops?
Don't tell me Max girlfriend.
No. That's from the movie.
All right.
I think it was like PJ's mom.
PJ's mom. All right, that's one.
Okay. Remember Big Hero 6? And Cass?
Yeah. Everybody wanted to see Aunt Cass boobs. All right, 2.
Okay, and let's say this was the third one. When you say waifu, she could be Japanese animated, right? From anime.
Nah, no anime. Cartoon.
No anime, cartoon.
Yeah,
then technically she won't be considered a waifu because waifu is technically, that term is technically Japanese. So it's a kind of throw off.
It is, but what it mean in English? Wife, right?
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Technically.
Right.
But
cartoon wife and name 3.
Okay. I would say Jessica Rabbit.
3. All right.
Yeah.
So you want to call them back, right? Is
the Jessica Rabbit.
Right.
I think PJ's mom from Goof Troop. And the other one, what did I say?
You didn't really think this true, did it?
No, because I honestly thought it was like Japanese because like I said,
if I wanted to say, if I wanted to go Japanese, I'd say anime waifu.
Well, waifu is a Japanese word, but
well, I just told you I know, but I just use the term because it means wife in English, right?
Right.
So cartoon waifu, just name 3. So it's PJ.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Jessica Rabbit. What was the next one? I wasn't paying attention.
No, well, again, like I said, right now I'm drinking. Sorry for to the listeners. I'm drinking,
you should at least write this down, man. You know you was going to do this tonight.
No, I like it to be authentic.
Yeah, but it could be authentically written down too.
Yeah, true.
All right.
I really can't remember.
Okay. So two and you can't remember, all right? But don't worry. All right, guys, I will be putting up the pictures of his waifu/wives in the video. All right, so my 3. First one, Rogue.
Oh yeah, she bad.
Yeah, but you know what? I think she'll be an honorable mention for me because
Ooh,
even
you know
if
who
she's
I'd
your
love
wife.
To? Honorable mention for me, Mystique.
Mystique?
Yeah.
Dude, you got some problems, boy. You know she could change into a man, right?
Well, okay, I didn't think that through, but.
All right, so my honorable mention will be Rogue. Reason why she's not this week, you won't be able to touch her, right? This
that's true.
This real geek nerd thing we're going into. So wife number 1, I'll take Storm.
Okay.
Wife number 2, Hawk Girl from Justice League.
Okay.
All right, and wife number 3.
Okay. Wife number 3.
I had it in my mind, but you had me explaining so much that
Okay, the
so
guy
it was
just
Storm.
made shit
So it
for
was
nothing.
so it was Storm. Yeah, because I had to be explaining myself to you all the time. I had it in my mind. Yeah. It was Storm, Hawk Girl. Oh my gosh, she would divorce me. But you know what? I'll remember it next time. So 2, 2. So each of us have 2, and we don't know. All right.
Okay, cool.
So
You know who's an honorable mention?
is
Moira.
that who, Moira?
Professor X chick.
You serious?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Dude,
So
I'll be honest
wait,
with you.
is the accent?
I love the
I
Scottish
it
accent.
had to be the accent.
I,
Yeah.
I love a
Oh,
redhead,
yeah.
and I love a Scottish accent.
I have one. Third one. Nico, Galaxy Rangers.
Okay,
Right.
fair enough.
All right. Okay. So, all right. Next question, guys. All right. If you owned a toy company, right? The first license you would go after would be what? Now, you have to have a movie license, a game license, and a cartoon license. Which one do
Okay.
you think?
Here's what. All right. Now, I know it's gonna be hard, but you remember Rescue Rangers?
Right. So that would be your cartoon, right?
Cartoon license.
Right.
All right. My game license would be probably Tumba. I love that game. I really, really love that. It was on PS1. That's the pink hair dude that used to run around like Tarzan.
Yeah.
I love that
remember.
game. Right. And you said a movie license?
Yeah, movie license.
I don't know why, but dude, The Hangover. I would love to actually like do like I wouldn't say like Hot Toys-ish figures or like maybe a little closer to the line of like Mezco, like because funny enough, there's not much toy companies that actually cater towards that market of like other than like comic book movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or like horror movies. Like that'd be kind of cool to actually have like a figure of like Phil and like Stu and the whole crew.
I hear.
Because like I said, I really do love that movie. It's one of my favorite trilogies.
Cool. So I get it. I hear it. That's cool. All right. So my 3 will be okay. So I'm going with movie. Starship Troopers, first movie.
Mm-hmm.
Reason why I definitely want a Daisy Flores action figure.
Okay.
I would love to, and it's a movie. It's one of the guilty pleasures. Every time you see it, you just watch it and enjoy it.
Well,
Love
that's
that
the thing.
movie.
I'll be honest with you. For the time that movie came out, it was awesome. Let's forget about the sequel. Sequel, total shit. The cartoon was awesome. Because I believe if I could remember, it used to show on USA Network, right? Which was kind of cool. And they had that whole like, it was something like, you know what's funny? It had like this Star Wars vibe to it a little bit, but it was just cool as fuck. And like the insectoids or whatever were awesome. It's like, and not only that, the killing in it, dude. It's like,
Yeah.
remember we
And
were
guess
like
what? And guess what?
pre-teens when that came out?
Yeah. Guess what? This was also based on a book.
Well, look at that. I didn't even know that.
And the insectoids wasn't really insects, and it was actually humanoid aliens.
Well, I wouldn't even doubt that.
Yeah. But I find the way how they brought it across with the insects, it was crazy good.
Dude, one of my favorite
the
scenes in
insects.
that movie would always be when the dude that like I guess was with Denise Richards character. He got
when he gave brain suckled,
by the tech.
yeah, that was that was nuts.
That
was crazy. That was crazy.
That was kind of cool.
I never looked at a bug the same way again. To be honest,
I never looked at a tick the same way again.
Yeah, I never look at bugs the same way again after that.
Dude, that little like stinger that comes out and like out of like the tick's mouth and like punctures the cranium.
The brain bug. Yeah, that was dread. All right, so
and not only that, dude, you have to give an honorable mention to Neil Patrick Harris.
Who, Doogie?
Mr. Doogie
Yeah,
Howser.
Doogie Howser. Yeah, well, he's a good actor. You know what I mean? He was a good actor, but yeah, that's a definite movie. Every time they show it, I have to watch it. So my game will be Rival Schools or Project Justice. I think in Japan it's called Project Justice, and in the US it's called Rival Schools. And cartoon is a toss-up between Galaxy Rangers and Samurai Pizza Cats.
Okay.
So that'll be my 3. All right. So guys, producer just tell me that we have to go on a break, pay some bills, and we'll be back after these messages.
Can anything stop the animal? The animal! It's a big, powerful 4x4. But when the going gets tough, it bares its claws to climb over things that get in its way. The animal! The animal! Can anything stop the animal? The animal! The animal, clawing its way to the top. The animal, each sold separately. Batteries not included. New from Galoob.
All right, guys, so we're back. So we're going to continue with the Grim and Zorpox Q&A. Next question. Did you enjoy Batman Beyond? Thoughts on it?
Dude,
so we could go into this.
Something, when it came out, it was something that was, it was different. It wasn't like, okay, the whole Bruce Wayne continuation, like, it's a Bruce Wayne side story or whatever. Yes, it was technically Bruce Wayne side story, but it was like a breath of fresh air, having like a new Batman. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like,
because
okay,
we grew up watching Bruce for how long? For years, and I can tell you, my first impression of it, I was like, what the hell is this? And when I hear the kind of rock music with the guitar riffs and things, like,
it was like this techno, the whole techno rock. Because what was funny was, right, I didn't the first time I saw it, I didn't like get to watch it like from I saw the first episode, but like the piece coming down to the ending, like when he was basically like he was told not to use the bat suit or whatever. And basically Bruce shut it down on him. That's where I actually started watching it from, right? And I was, to be honest with you, that little piece that I saw, it blew me away, because the thing was, it's like, okay, it's like year one Batman, but told in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Whereby you get, because the thing was is that, okay, when you first watch the Batman animated series, okay, he starts off as this badass person that, again, you know how Batman is.
Yeah.
It's
It started off that way, like, he was young,
mm-hmm.
but it was already established that
mm-hmm.
he knew how to fight. He was a good detective and stuff like that. So it wouldn't really, you can't really say it was a year one for Bruce.
Exactly.
When we got it, but with Terry,
you
saw all his struggles. You saw where he was learning from Bruce. He was rough around the edges, and believe me, he was still rough around the edges coming down these seasons. But he just was better.
He was a teenager technically. So the thing is that
he was improving.
Yeah, and not only that, you saw his personal life. He didn't have really a good relationship with his dad. His dad died. I mean, okay, he has a little brother. For those who have siblings, okay, well, you could kind of think or whatever. But basically, what I guess people kind of also gravitated towards too is his relationship with Dana. Like, being that young, you get that vibe of, okay, that he's a teenager. He's trying to be, this really bad, the bad boy, but he's not a bad boy kind of vibe. Then you stumble on to be Batman, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I know
And
who doesn't wish to be like a teenager and be Batman?
and yeah, that's the thing. They got our demographic because we was around the same age.
Exactly. So it's like to be a teenager, be Batman, and not only that, you're a Batman of the future. Dude,
Yeah, and the
that's
way
sick.
how they did it, if you thought, but by now a lot of people will know what Batman Beyond is. But if you thought that the Bruce Wayne, Gotham City was in a mess, this future Gotham City really looked like this kind of dystopian kind of way. Everything was dark, and I like the setting for it.
Exactly. It had a really good
Yeah.
like image tone to it, right?
So things
Not only
really didn't change much.
No, it actually got worse.
It just got
worse.
more futuristic.
Yeah,
Didn't
that's
change.
the thing. It got worse because Bruce stopped being Batman.
Yeah. And
You had like the clans like the Jokers and stuff like that. People were
And
actually
that
slicing
is
this up
another
with
thing.
animals.
yeah, that is another thing too. You know, you get to see this. You actually get to see Gotham in the future. You actually seeing that it was a shock for me to see Joker had a gang, right? Although they didn't work with him directly, but he had a legacy. Joker had a legacy in Batman Beyond, right? And I was
I know
also
that there was
the-
little gems of like, the classic Batman villains. Like for instance, remember the drug that the people using to make themselves stronger. Basically, it was like Ben.
Yeah, the Venom.
Venom. I
And
think they call
when you
it
watch
slaps, if
when
I'm not
you-
mistaken.
Yeah, when you watch, well, yeah, it was Venom.
Yeah,
when you
but I think
watch
they
it,
called it slaps or something.
it was
like that.
Slappers,
Yeah, slappers or
right?
whatever. they
And
call it.
it was Slappers.
Mhm.
The way how that was is the guy was getting the Venom from Bane, and you actually see that Bane was old,
Yeah.
was a vegetable in a chair. So they kept that legacy going,
Mhm.
right?
And don't get me wrong, I love actually some of the new villains as well, like Shriek.
Shriek,
yeah.
Ink.
Yeah, Ink and stuff.
It had the guy that used to hunt them down,
Mm-hmm.
right? He was scary. He and
Yeah.
the girl with the sword, I forgot her name. She was the assassin with the sword, and she was going after.
And only that, what I
she
like
had a
about
she had a turban. I forgot her name. Kiari or something like that. Kayari or something like that.
But you know what I actually like too? That introduced like the Justice League of the future.
I was now getting to that. That was, I think, my favorite episode.
Like Warhawk and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It actually tied into like what everybody was thinking in Justice League with
No, that-
Hawkman.
No,
and
that was a
and
good.
Green Lantern.
No, that was a good piece of writing, huh?
Yeah, well,
Because
it only made sense.
Batman Beyond came before that Justice League, and for them to tie that back in there, that was pretty
Mhm.
good. But
Dude,
those,
and they threw back to Ra's al Ghul.
yeah, those
Yep.
two episodes with the Justice League were my favorite.
But that
of
was
the Batman Beyond.
that was kind of like weird though, because Ra's al Ghul actually took over Natalia al Ghul's body, and technically he kissed Bruce.
Well, let me tell you something. If Ra's al Ghul wanted to take over his daughter's body and did so, you really put that past him to kiss Bruce? He willing to do
Well-
anything.
Yeah, true. But it was I would always say that it was kind of cool of it, but I was like that part always like kind of like threw me off a bit. It was like, so wait a minute, Ra's al Ghul
Yeah.
in his daughter's body.
Yeah, he will go. It just goes to show he will go to great lengths just to live forever. And that's his main thing.
But what was kind of cool about that episode in particular, I love the whole scene whereby Bruce kind of got back young or whatever, and
Yep.
he was fighting alongside Terry.
Yep, that
And only that-
was bad.
Exactly.
That was awesome.
And I have to say, what I really liked the whole, the mechanical suit that Bruce fought in a couple of times, but apparently it was basically hurting him because of his heart condition or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Something I guess like it's kind of like a mech suit or whatever.
Yeah,
That was cool too. I don't even know if they ever made like a action figure or whatever of that, but
I'm
yeah.
not, I'm not sure either, but one thing I didn't like about Batman Beyond, I didn't see the point of making Terry McGinnis Bruce's son. They didn't really have to go that route to
Yeah,
say like
they didn't have to, because the thing was the show was already a success. I'll be honest with you. You know what I would have loved to seen? Proper action figures of from that line. Proper action figures. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're now starting to actually get like, well, they already started, but we're getting good comics coming out of Batman Beyond, and we're getting that universe expanded, which is good. But I would love to see like proper action figures come out for like Batman Beyond. No,
But we-
don't get me wrong.
but we
I know,
already
I know McFarlane's doing it right now. Right?
Yeah,
But
McFarlane doing it,
like,
but we already had proper action figures for them for that time. If you're talking
Well-
about action figures for the collectors of today, I could understand that, but we already had proper action figures for them. We didn't know anything about all this articulation until like what, a couple of years ago? Well, years ago with Marvel Legends.
We got, but they, like for instance, we never even really gotten like a good Batman Beyond video game. Like for instance, if you ever played the one from like way back in the day on the PlayStation, that was total garbage. I mean, like I wouldn't play that game even if somebody had a gun to my head.
Yeah.
Right.
That just like the Superman 64 game.
Oh, you are bringing up like total trash.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I saw that game and I was like, you know what? Fuck that. Fuck it. And I'll be honest with you. I love Nintendo. I love what Nintendo do, but they need to sometimes choose titles or stick to what they know, if you know what I mean. It's like, that was terrible.
Yeah, it
Even
was.
like the PlayStation Superman. I'll be honest with you. There's no good Superman game ever. Period. Ever on any platform, there's no good Superman game. The thing is how do you make a Superman game? That's the question you have to ask yourself.
Open world.
Yes, it must be open world. And the thing is that, again,
You know how to
it
make a
entertaining-
Superman game? You just have to take the formula of the Spider-Man games.
well, you can't really do that, because reason being, you're talking about a character that Superman never really ever uses his full strength. I would love to see a video game in particular where you could choose whether or not you want your Superman to go berserk. Like, I'll be honest with you, I want to see a Superman game where he's invincible as fuck. I know that you have to make it like challenging and shit like that, but at the end of the day, dude, it's Superman. All right? Unless you put in a storyline of the sun or kryptonite or whatever, like scattered all over the place or whatever, you can't have a good Superman game. It needs to have like a really good storyline where, okay, he has like there's a weakness or whatever, and he has to build back up his strength or whatever. You remember that Superman Returns or about that
What, the
what's
movie?
that dude? Yeah.
Yeah.
They made a video game for that game. Well, for that movie, and it was total shit.
Okay.
It was one of the worst. If you thought Superman 64 was bad, that was bad as well. That was terrible. I mean, I don't know. There's certain characters that need to do justice on with video games, and Superman is definitely one.
Yeah. But as I was saying, I think they should go the route of the Spider-Man games and even the Arkham games. If it could have a kind of blend between the two, you definitely have to make it open world, because Superman flying all over the place,
Well, true.
right? You have him fly down because you're watching the Spider-Man game. Spider-Man is like that open world. You could swing here, do different things, you fly by the daily planet, right? You have Brainiac attacking in the air in certain, you have different villains, different natural disasters. They could put all that in. They could go nuts,
Well, that's
right?
the thing
Just
about it.
make it
I mean-
open world, and you have him fighting these different villains that are touching down in different parts of the world and stuff. You have your missions and stuff. They could make that. Just
No, but
follow
you know what I
Spider-Man,
think-
the Arkham games.
You know what I think about why they haven't made a good Superman game is because he's not very relatable in certain circumstances. It's like, how do you actually make this character actually more relatable to people? And it's the same thing that a lot of people have. Well, a lot of in a lot of comics, a lot of people struggle with relating to Superman. Hence why you had shows like Smallville, Lois and Clark, and stuff like that. Right?
But what making him not relatable?
Because the thing is that he's super.
But
He has
yet, so you would. So what DC character you think relatable?
Can I be honest with you? I don't think any DC character is relatable in certain circumstances compared to like Marvel characters. Because to be honest with you, I don't think DC spends enough time with like the alternate identity compared to like Marvel does.
But I think it depends on the writer. You could make the characters relatable. It just depends on the situation that they're in. They could be relatable because
and this is the thing, right? It's like a lot of people,
and you know what Superman. You know how you could relate to Superman. You know what Superman shows you constantly? Humility.
Well, yes, and you know what actually made Superman a lot popular? Smallville. Smallville actually brought him down on a level whereby people appreciated him especially as like a young person growing up, what he had to deal with and stuff like that. The same thing that like I guess you know when you're a teenager, some of the things that you may go through. That's the only show that actually like made him kind of human. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Batman,
it depends on. It depends
Batman
on.
never got that.
It depends on the writer at the time. You know, it will have people. I would say it will have certain things about Superman will make him relatable. Like as I say, humility. You know what it will be like. The planet Earth gets destroyed. You end up going to another planet or something like that, and you have godlike powers, and never once, you study to really take over that planet and be a tyrant.
No, well,
but I would guess it would have to be with, it have to deal with his upbringing. He got hitched with the right people.
Right.
That's why he didn't end up like that. But what is for him? He could always change his mind. He could just get like what we see in Injustice. Something happened to him. He get fed up and he say, you know what? This nonsense have to stop. I go in and rule this place.
Well, dude, technically they made a movie some time ago. It's kind of like I keep on forgetting the name of this movie, but it was something along the terms of.
That's like the gods among us or something like that. That's when Superman was Hispanic.
No. It's a movie basically. It follows the same mythology of Superman.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, Brightburn.
Right. Basically,
you're talking about.
It's like if Superman didn't have the right parents to actually nurture him.
Yeah, right? that's what Brightburn was about.
And I'll be honest with you, I love that movie. When I saw that movie, he was creepy. He was creepy as fuck, dude.
Yeah, he was. It was decent. It was decent.
But yeah,
a decent movie.
I would love to see a continuation of that storyline.
Yeah.
Even if it's not like a movie, like comic book, that would be sick.
Yeah, me too. I like to see a storyline.
It brought a different spice to Superman on the whole.
All right, cool. So, hey, ladies and gents, are you feeling parched, dehydrated, or powerfully thirsty like I am? Well, you can pick up L Juice, the new liquid sensation from Calaboose Corp from Cucamonga. This thirst-quenching L Juice will be in stores next year for the very, very low cost of, guess what, Grim? 14 easy payments at $9.99. Yes, folks, I'm not lying. 14 easy payments of $9.99. You
Hey,
don't want to miss this.
hey Zorpox, quick question.
Yeah.
Does that guy pay us?
No. But we'll get there soon. We'll get there
Okay.
soon.
All right. Okay.
So
Cool.
let's do the other question, my bro. So wait, before we move on, we done with Batman Beyond, right? We said what we liked about it and stuff, yeah. Yeah, Terry for the win. Terry for the win.
No, I'll be honest with you. It was like a breath of fresh air when like Terry came in, and dude, I'll be honest with you. I follow the comics, especially with Terry now, and I love the fact that they brought in Max as well, or Matt as like the new Robin.
Mm-hmm.
That it's kind of cool. It's really cool.
Okay.
And then, well, they had a point in time where like they had this Batgirl or whatever. So yeah, I would love to actually see it continue on and stuff like that. I hope it actually grows and maybe even grew into a movie one day. That'll be cool.
Yeah, that is one thing. I'm sure they'll make a movie eventually out of that. But all right, guys. So move on to the next question. All right. So this is a Gundam-based question, right?
Yeah.
You can only equip your Gundam with one item to fight in a battle. What would it be? And these are your options: a Vulcan cannon, beam saber, a rifle, or a shield. Which one you'd pick and why?
Okay, Vulcans are usually in the shoulder or the head. Mostly as like used as a back-off weapon. In other words, to evade enemies. The beam rifle is the beam saber is usually again close quarters. Rifle, depending on what type of rifle, could be a beam, like a beam, a mega beam, a mega particle beam cannon, or hyper beam cannon. I guess a shield is just a shield, whether it be an energy shield or just a regular shield made out of Gundanium. I have to go to rifle.
I say you choose your rifle. I will choose the beam saber.
Why?
The reason why I choose the beam saber is like beam saber bullets win finish. It's like it's pure energy in the hilt.
Well, okay,
With your rifle, you had to study about the energy getting low, or you're running out of bullets. Then what will happen?
Well, okay, let's break down Gundam law, right? So technically, your mobile suit would have what you call your your primary weapon, your secondary weapon, and then you have a shield.
No, hear what, right? No, hear what? That's not the question. The question is one item to fight in a battle. What would it be? And you choose rifle.
Well, yeah, rifle, because reason being, it could either be like I said, a mega particle beam cannon, or like I said, a hyper beam cannon. So it wasn't specified on that. So hence why I would choose a rifle.
All right, but the energy when you don't have unlimited energy or bullets.
Well, technically, if it's a hyper mega beam cannon, a mega particle beam cannon, it's a wide beam usually. It's a ship. It's a fleet destroyer. If you know what I mean. So by using that, the job is done.
Yeah, but what if you miss?
Well, you just recharge your weapon until you get and you evade the attacks.
All right. Well. All right, well, that is you. Good luck with that.
Yeah, well, if you use like a beam saber, that means technically you are in close. It's a close encounter. Weapon. So that means the chances of you getting damage is greater.
But remember, you had a dodge to charge back your weapon.
Exactly.
So I could dodge too. You see?
Well, yes, but like I said. With my weapon, I don't necessarily have to be close to fight. With your weapon, you have to be right up there And like I said, it's basically crab and barrel because again, people want to live. If
But
you understand what
yeah,
I'm
but if
saying.
you only have one shot on charge,
Well, it better be a good shot,
yeah.
or I'm getting the fuck out of
But
there.
that's what I'm saying. You go ahead and miss. You can't miss, right? Because if it's one shot and the enemy all over the place with one big beam, we've seen it. We've seen it in the movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
One shot, one big beam. Yeah, you'll get a good set of them. But what about the rest?
Well,
Now I close quarters, I understand that. So I studying boy, I could dodge, pelter chop here and there and kind of fly out. But that is why this question was here.
mm-hmm.
The reason why I didn't say two is because obviously you would pick a shield and of course the rifle. So having one weapon in that scenario.
It's a last resort weapon. Well, the shield is not really a weapon. The shield is just basically, well, for certain Gundams, it's a weapon, yes.
Well, right,
but
yeah, you could use it as a weapon.
technically,
So-
but if the shield would be actually like a last resort.
A pencil could be a weapon in the right person hand or the wrong person hand, depending on how you look at it. A shield could be a weapon.
Dude, quick question. Remember there was a show, like way back in the day? It was like this karate dude that would he'd use anything as a weapon, and he was like a detective.
Nah, I don't recall. I don't know. You had to give me more to work
Yeah.
with. I've watched a lot of shows back then.
Yeah, what like okay, no, it was like this live action, like I guess show that used to show or whatever. I can't
You
remember.
sure it's
the
not
name.
John Wick? I know he doesn't
No,
use anything.
no, it wasn't. It was like way before like John Wick. It was like the whole premise around the show is like this guy is so skilled. He was like this fatish dude.
I know what you're talking about. MacGyver.
No,
He could take anything and make anything.
Okay, this dude was Asian. Like
I know who you're
guess
talking
my-
about now. It's Sammo Hung. You're talking about martial law.
Well, I can't remember. Well, probably his name was. But basically, it was like the whole premise of the show is like he could take anything and make it into a weapon. He didn't look like he could do it, but I guess
I don't know if it's a fat Asian dude. The only fat Asian dude that I know could fight is Sammo Hung. All right, so
Okay.
it's probably him.
probably.
And I know if Strident was here, he would blast that out. He
But
would blast
the
that like
whole-
a flipping beam rifle.
Yeah, but the
Wow.
whole premise around the show is like this dude. He's a detective.
Yeah,
He could-
it had
in a
have to
fight
be.
scene. Basically, he uses anything. He could use anything to.
It
as a
had to
weapon.
be. It had to be Sammo Hung because he was in martial law. And
Okay.
martial law, he was a police officer in it
Oh, okay.
with Kelly, who and two other guys. I can't remember the name right now. All right. So next question, right? If you had to start over collecting, but not what you are collecting now,
Mm-hmm.
what would it be?
To be honest with you, I would probably go into like Sentai. Like when I say Sentai, I mean like that genre of like okay,
You know, when they
Beetleborg.
say Sentai, it
Mhm.
sounds like something else.
Yeah, I know what I ate, but again, we're trying to keep it like rated PG.
Yeah, we try to keep it
15.
PG, folks.
And I'll be honest with you, I know there's people that collect that stuff, but I be honest with you, I can't walk into a store and be like, yo, I need to get that statue with those big tits. If
You
know
would do
what I mean.
that? I would do that. I would do that. You know, have a one or two
No, I'll be honest with
hentai
you.
statues about.
I've been in stores and I've seen them and stuff like that, but it doesn't really interest me to get that, if you know what I mean. Like even
I
if
know,
it's like
it
a
would
female,
be-
it's even if it's like a female character that I like and stuff like that, and it's more love for that character.
It wouldn't be first on your list. No, I know what you're talking about.
It's not something that I'm into. Like to say, like I need to have that. No, I'm good with that. That whole
So
aspect.
you'll go straight into Sentai stuff if you wasn't
Yeah.
collecting. All right, cool.
Yeah, like, I'll be honest with you. Like I'll be on like Beetleborgs, Power Rangers. Like for instance, I love the Legacy or the Hasbro line,
Right,
and
yeah.
I would like to actually see them dive into a lot of stuff, especially like complete teams. All except well, I know right now I believe you can collect the whole Mighty Morphin line, well the whole Mighty Morphin team or whatever. I would like to actually see them dive into like a proper Megazord and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
But even like I wouldn't even like SH figure arts and stuff like that. Like if I think is it which company does the is it the 112 scale or 16 scale Power Rangers right now? It's like
Not 3-0.
I don't think it's 3-0 to be honest with you, but basically it's like cloak and like it's kind of they kind of look like Mezcos, like with the spandex and stuff like that. It looks pretty cool, but I think they were price ranging at something like either like 100 and something US or something like that sort.
Okay.
But it looked pretty good, and they did like the right now they did the Mighty Morphin line. I don't know if they'll probably do anything more like in the sense of like Ninja Storm or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
it looked pretty good, and I would like to see them actually like do more ranges eventually. But
Okay. Okay, cool. Now, if I had to start over a line, honorable mention, although I have a few of these guys in my drawer, Hot Wheels, and the line I will definitely do is Lego. I will go balls deep into Lego if I had to start over.
I don't mind Lego. Lego's actually, I'll be honest with you, it's very similar to model building, if you know what I mean, which is kind of cool. So yeah, definitely Lego. Dude, but I would love to do a Voltron. To be quite honest with you, any Voltron, I'd like to actually collect a Voltron.
Yeah, especially that $700 one looking real good though. That price.
It looks good. I'll be honest with you, it looks good, but it's realistically for the average person or who the person that doesn't want to make sacrifices, it's not obtainable. I mean, which is it's kind of sad, but it's a really really good Voltron. I would say that.
Well, you could like make the sacrifice and save.
Yeah, you could, but like I said, dude, I'll be honest with you. Do you want to eat ramen for a year?
When I
And
save in,
I don't mean like the proper ramen. I mean like the one you like, basically like the pack ramen. Do you want to eat pack ramen for a year to afford that?
well, the way how I save, I'll save and not eat
Mhm.
ramen.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't think I'll be eating ramen, but I'll be saving to get if I really wanted it.
Well, I think there's only a certain amount of units that's gonna be made of this. So hence why I saying why I brought up the whole are you willing to eat ramen for basically a year to get this?
Well, you know, if a collectible or a toy have to mess up my lifestyle, I don't think that worth it. My opinion.
Exactly. That's
So I'm not
my
gonna
opinion.
do that. I wouldn't do
It
that.
does, I'll be honest with you, it doesn't make sense. It's too expensive. It looks good, don't get me wrong. If you could afford it, hats off to you. But in reality, there is life beyond the whole idea of collecting. And you don't want to be able to say, oh, you have it, but then you technically lose your home or your apartment. Because the fact that because the thing is it's worth nothing to you if you're living on the streets. Basically, after that you have to sell it.
And yeah, I mean, if you're not meant to have it, you're not meant to have it. I mean,
Exactly.
it's okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I have this next question here.
Mm-hmm.
Name a collectible that you missed on that you would like to have in your collection today.
right now, I'll be honest with you, I won't say it's a collectible, but it's something that's hard to actually get, and that's the mechanical Kasi Gundam. Right now, it's really, really, really expensive, and I can't see myself spending that kind of money to get that. It's like that and the Kasatra mobile suit. You know the Kasatra from Gundam Unicorn?
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's one of my favorite mobile suits ever. Right? And the thing is that if you have to buy like the mechanical whatever, the price is ridiculous. It's like, don't try to buy it on eBay, because it's better if you go somewhere and you see it. I would say probably that might be the better thing to actually like try to get it or whatever. But dude, mechanical kits on the whole, they're expensive as fuck. But the only thing is, what I don't, it's a risk in the dark of buying a mechanical kit sometimes. You might buy the part, buy it and it might be missing parts. And the thing is that like after that, what are you actually going to do? Alright, because if it's already like scarce and rare, are you gonna try to contact the company and be like, hey, I'm missing this part of the leg or this part of the arm or whatever? And then it's like, okay, well, they're gonna send it to you? No, they're not gonna fucking send it to you. I mean, so it's like, what do you do after that? Do you 3D build or try to scratch build the part and stuff like that? What I would love to see is Bandai actually produce these kind of kits. Hopefully in the future, but they already have it in high grade or whatever. I'd love to see it maybe like in a 1/100 scale line. Doesn't necessarily have to be master grade, it could be RE or whatever. But I'd love to see them actually do something like those kits in like 1/100.
Alright, cool. Well, let me see. It have a lot of figures. But the one that I could think of is the Dark Knight Returns Mezco figure. They made two. They made a black and gray and a blue and gray. And I think when it initially came out, it was like $50 for it.
Okay.
And now it's going for like near 300, between 250 300 if you go on eBay. That is a figure I don't mind getting in my collection again. That and the NECA comic Ninja Turtles. Yeah, they also, but the good thing about that option with NECA is that they have the knockoffs selling. You could get like all four for like $70. So I'll go with the Batman.
Okay.
Definitely go with the Batman. Alright, so next question. Show your excitement. A kit or action figure you are excited to get before the year is out.
Has to be the MG Virtue.
So excited for the Virtue.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that will complete the team, right?
Definitely. That's the thing, is like, I love 00. So the thing is that completing that guy, like for instance, I just finished build the the Curios, and it was spectacular. I love that kit. So I'm actually like, especially the fact that the Virtue, basically it's two mobile suits. You gotta love that shit.
Right. Alright, so for me, I'm definitely, I have two figures, the interchangeable, either or. And both from Storm Collectibles is the Zangief or the E Honda. 1 out of the two, excited to get. Even if I don't get the two, if I could get 1 out of the two, that would be perfectly fine with me. Alright?
If you are a mutant, and let's just say for instance, you had some sort of power. Now, we're not talking about like an energy blast or any kind of thing like that. Let's talk about you had a crappy power. What would that crappy power be?
crappy power.
Yeah, if you had to choose a crappy power. When I say that, not like to say you could do a force field, energy blast, or
All right, crappy power in you remember X-Men: The Last Stand.
mm-hmm.
You remember it had a guy that just used to have spikes in his body. When he hugged the woman and you just see the spikes, it was a Asian guy.
Yeah.
You remember that was the
I
X-Men
think
with
he was
Juggernaut.
kind of like a. I don't want to be like speaking out of place, but is it he was supposed to be something like Spike from the?
Yeah,
Marvel?
I would guess that. I would guess that he is his power was like a crappier version to Spike.
He's something like a porcupine.
Yeah, he was a Pokemon. But you remember it had a character in that movie where he was fat and then he became slim to fit in to the
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my word. I don't know who thought of that. Well, I guess a power is a power, I guess, right? Let's see. A crappy power. To control animals, I guess. You'll see that as a crappy power.
Well, I mean, you could be the Rat King. I think that's awesome power actually to control any animal.
Yeah, all right. I don't know. That's a tough question because you wouldn't want to give yourself a crappy power. Oh boy.
I think what would be a really, really crappy power is to actually, and I don't mean like the Meg grin, like her fingernails and
Fingernails.
scratch it.
You could actually do some damage with that though.
Yeah, ouch. That's about it. It's not to say you could do anything like what Meg did in Family Guy or whatever, but I think like a crappy power would actually be able to repeat an incident over.
You mean like
A
deja vu?
Like a replay.
Deja
That would be a
vu.
crappy, yeah.
A replay.
Yeah.
So
that would be a crappy power.
But think about it. How far back you could go to replay?
Let's just say in
No, if
let's
you say
let's say 10
like
seconds.
10 seconds at 10 seconds. Wow, I wonder what you could do in 10 seconds. You could do a lot in 10 seconds, huh? You could do a lot.
Yeah, or you can you only replay over the incident.
In
And I
10
would-
seconds.
Yeah.
You could actually say the right thing in 10 seconds and probably get a girl phone number. Or even if you trip over something
hmm
or embarrass yourself, 10 seconds. Yeah, 10 seconds could be a lot. 10 seconds could actually be a lot to actually change something that happened like just in that instance, of course. You could save a life. You could save a life in 10 seconds.
Really? Okay.
Depending on the situation, think about it. All right, if you have to push somebody out of the way of something, that's not going to take 10 seconds.
Dependent. I guess it depends, really.
Yeah, it depends. That's what I was
depends on the
saying. It
situation.
depends on the instance. 10 seconds is a lot.
I mean, because we're not talking about like you have super strength or whatever.
Right.
We're just talking about you have the ability to replay.
You know what I thought? I thought is
Captain Hindsight. That's
no.
basically the power.
Captain Hindsight. 10 seconds.
Okay, that's like a South Park reference.
Okay.
Right? Or whatever. Basically, you could basically it's like you could only see like from like a little bit like in the past or
You
whatever.
could see a little bit in the past.
Yeah, just a little smidgen of like
Well,
whatever.
Yeah, well, that is definitely a wasteful power. That don't
Yeah.
make any sense to me. Well, if you
Exactly.
say that, yeah, okay, no problem. You know, it's an interesting power. But I wouldn't say it's a crappy power. The ability to understand every language
I won't
and
say
speak
that's
it.
I
wouldn't
that's
say,
like
yeah.
no,
That's-
that's actually a cool power.
Yeah, that is a very interesting power. I wouldn't mind having that.
Like I'll be honest with you, there are probably people in the world right now that actually could do that. or whatever. But yeah, that's a cool power to have.
Yeah, that's definitely a cool power. How about all right, a crappy power? Remember our dude red guy?
Mm-hmm.
The ability to bounce on your butt.
You know what's weird? I think a lot of people will probably find that kind of cool.
What? You know what? You got talent or something like that?
Dude, I'll be honest with you. If you go anywhere and you actually see a guy bouncing on his ass up and down, like, oh, it could be a girl. She'd be actually pretty cool. More girl than a guy, but I guess any or whatever. It would actually kind of be cool.
All right. So here what? I have this challenge to our viewers out there. You could write in the comments what you think is a crappy power. You could write it down in the comments, leave your explanations and all that. It'll be interesting to see what you guys think about that.
Swimming Ariel, swimming Ariel.
She swam the seas in Disney's The Little Mermaid.
Ariel's so pretty. Watch what happens now. She changes color. Wow!
Follow her and she'll swim with you.
She's swimming by herself.
Beneath the water, clear and blue. So much to see and do. Come share her world. She loves so well. She's swimming Ariel, swimming Ariel.
Battery not included.
All right. So last question. Favorite Yu-Gi-Oh monster?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I kind of like the Celtic Guardian.
The Celtic Guardian?
Yeah,
that's actually a cool monster.
But I'll be honest with you again. I kind of like there's a card called the Stardust Dragon.
The Stardust Dragon. I'm not familiar with that. What what season that was?
I can't remember. I don't really watch the anime or whatever, but I know the card.
All right.
And it's kind of like it looks like the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
But just some more kind of like I don't want to refer to Pokemon because at the end of the day, all these things add up to the same shit or whatever. But yeah, it looks like an evolved Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Okay. Well, I'll look it up because I wasn't too huge.
Yeah.
After Battle City, I kind of lose out on Yu-Gi-Oh.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I'm not really like a Yu-Gi-Oh fan. I'm more like Beyblade.
Yeah, Beyblade. I had a couple of those.
Dude, the theme song was sick. Picking
the
up speed, going out of time, we're gonna rip things up. That was cool. Back in the day.
Oh, phew. I thought you was going to sing the whole song. Thank goodness.
I can't remember the whole song.
All right, nice. So my favorite monster is Obelisk the Tormentor.
Oh yeah, that was actually a good card.
Yeah, that was actually my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Did you ever play the game on was it PlayStation 2?
The game? No, I never played the game. I tried playing the one on Game Boy Advance, but I didn't really reach too far with that one.
Yeah. At a point in time, I was actually looking to collect the cards, but at that time I was heavy into the Pokemon cards. But yeah, I didn't really want to dive into it at that time.
All right, cool. But hey, can't sleep at night? Well, come down to Calaboose Cal Corp in Cucamonga, where we have the award-winning Sleepmare. Folks, you can have the Sleepmare for 19 easy payments of $59.99. I repeat, 19 easy payments of $59.99. The Sleepmare is Sleeping Beauty and Snorlax approved, right? Sleep all day, sleep all night. Become a lazy bum. Remember, Carl don't care. All right. So, Grim, any more topics you want to like?
Does Carl care about us?
Dude, I don't know. It complicated right now. But yeah, the ad's not bad. What you think? You want to sleep me right now? I could do that sleep me.
I just want to know we getting paid.
Extraordinary, exceptional X-Men. Wolverine's got a tiger twist, stripes, and spring-out claws. The Iceman comes on his ice board with color change icicles. Sabretooth's equipped with wounds that heal easily, an extra slashing claw, and glow-in-the-dark eyes and mouth. Here's Forge with his quick-draw gun action. Look out! And Mr. Sinister with his light-up chest. These aren't ordinary men. They're X-Men! X-Men figures, each sold separately from Toy Biz.
Guys, that was it. Q&A with Grim and Zorpox. Alright, you can get us on Instagram, Grim and Zorpox, or you could get Gundam Grim on Instagram if you want to head across there.
Exactly, just check me out on Gundam_Grim. And with that said, guys, peace out.
Yeah, peace out, and be safe. Later.
Carl doesn't care.